To save the world, first we must save ourselves. What does he mean when he says that? In light of so many protests that have been happening within my beloved country, Ireland, over the last week, and around the world alike, I had to take a step back. It started to become cumbersome, weighing heavily on me as I rushed to try and create a future for myself within this game that we play. Rushing, panicking, feeling the stress of the collective within me. As a part of the collective human species, if we start to feed into how sensitive we are as beings, we start to feel collective stress. And I'm sure if you're watching this and you are a sensitive being, you have felt said stress. For a long time, no doubt. It's been happening all our lives. But it's getting faster and it's getting faster. And we're all beginning to recognize it. And so what do I mean when I say to save the world, first we must save ourselves? I'm reflecting on all of the protests that have been happening within my country over the last week or so. Protests which are absolutely beautiful. Don't get mixed up when I say that I feel like we need to change our approach here, because that energy that those people are carrying is beautiful. It means that they wish for change, that they seek change, and we all do as a collective. But what I'm saying is, before we begin to try to save the world, first we must look within. First, we must try to save ourselves and recognize what it is that we are here and what it is that we're doing. We must also recognize that we are not broken. You are not broken. The system was designed to punish you. The system is flawed. The system is broken. The system that we were born into, that was been created thousands of years before you ever came to this planet, that is the flaw. That is what's broken. And so you trying to resonate with it is not going to work, and thus it's going to make you feel like you are broken. And that is what's happening unanimously throughout the human race right now. And that's why you're seeing all of these protests, and you've been seeing it on a cycle continuously for hundreds, if not thousands of years. We protest in collective against our governments. We try to make changes. We try to shift those who run it and establish new people who might run it a little bit better. But that's not how we fix this problem. That's just allowing the cycle to continue, because it's not the people who are on top of the system, it's the system itself that is flawed. And so here we go. This is my call to action. First, we must save ourselves. I think it's important for us to recognize that we are all powerful, beautiful souls, but we are all unanimously traumatized within this system. And it is within these traumatized bodies and minds that we are projecting our anger and projecting our resentment into these protests at these people. We're using the narrative as a means for us to project everything out. When in reality, I think what we really need to do is to slow down. To slow down completely. To begin to observe ourselves. To begin to observe the fact that we are traumatized. We have so much trauma stored within our bodies, within our minds, so much emotion repressed. Because from day dot, from your birth, you've had to try to coordinate yourself within this system, and it's a traumatizing experience for us all. And so, the idea of slowing down to start to feel into your own existence, to start to feel all of those repressed emotions, all of that trauma within yourself, and to begin to recognize that you can heal these things, that you can observe these things, you can seek support, you can do it yourself. And when you begin to slow down, when you begin to start to detach yourself from the system itself, recognizing that the system does not define you. You do not serve the system, you serve yourself. And by doing so, you serve the human race and the future collective of the human race, the future generations. And so by doing all of this work, by pulling back, by recognizing that you can heal this trauma and that you can prevent yourself from experiencing more and more and more, that you're helping humanity and you're helping the collective species. And that's a beautiful thing. And another thing, making changes, establishing a new system. It's not an overnight task. This is atomic habits. These are small changes. And I say this a lot, but attention flows where energy goes. So what we're putting our attention towards is what's manifesting within our realities, both individually and collectively. And so I say this: if we do not like the system, then we must recognize that we as a collective are allowing the system to exist. What we pay attention to still exists. And so we sit here and we complain about poisonous foods, poisonous water supplies, etc. We complain that we don't have enough money to exist and that we are paying too much taxes and all of the food that we're paying for is too much, it's too pricey, everything is too pricey. Slow it all back down. Begin to recognize that everything exists because we allow it to. So let's just take McDonald's for an example. I think universally we understand that McDonald's is very unhealthy. How would McDonald's exist if nobody paid attention to it? So if it had no customers, it would not exist. The same goes for anything universally. If nobody pays for anything on Amazon, Amazon does not exist. If nobody pays for a Tesla, Tesla does not exist. Do you understand? So it is within our control, collectively. We just need to recognize that. So what we are shifting our attention towards is that's actually what's going to manifest. And so I say this, one by one, if we understand that collectively we need to shift our attention away from the system and all of its devices and towards more progressive, pragmatic, positive avenues, things will look a lot better. What do I mean by that? Well, look, it's not going to be an overnight thing. We all need to start making atomic habits. So on a daily basis, making small changes in a better direction. Doesn't mean that you have to leave your job tomorrow, stop paying taxes and just fend for yourself. No, absolutely not. But can you learn how to produce your own food over time? Can you shift your attention away from living in a council estate or an apartment to perhaps trying to get yourself to the countryside where you have a small plot of land? Can you start to learn how to grow things in pots and plants and try to sustain yourself even just a little bit? Can you start to learn how to produce your own energy using solar power, hydropower, etc.? What else can we do? Can you start to put your attention towards healing yourself, towards helping to heal others? I promise you, you have a purpose here within this journey, on this planet, in this life. You might not feel like you have a purpose right now because you live in this flawed system, but once you start to direct your attention away from it, direct your attention towards yourself, feel into all of these emotions and traumas that are trapped within inside you, you'll open up space. Just allow yourself to observe, to feel, to sit with everything that you are, to exist within yourself. It's extremely uncomfortable, especially if you've never done this before. It's a practice, a daily practice. You're going to meet into painful experiences that are trapped in there, that are happening right now. Sometimes your mind and your body will try to protect you by pushing you towards food or screens or whatever it may be, but just allow yourself to feel into it all. Allow yourself to feel into the idea that you're a powerful, beautiful being who has a purpose here, who can connect with themselves and connect with the human race, who can allow the human as a collective to shift in a better direction. And that's the beautiful thing about this. You literally have the power to make massive impacts within this beautiful collective that we find ourselves in. You, by just doing all of this work on yourself, are now allowing your children to learn how to do that for you or from you. And in doing so will be far less traumatized than you will. And if we all start to understand that collectively, well, then the future generations will be in a much better place starting than we were. And slowly but surely, we will begin to build a better world, a beautiful system where we can probably bring it all back to individual basis and start to build smaller communities where we help one another. Not everybody's going to be able to do the same skills, but I guarantee you this, you do have a skill that is needed by the human race. Every one of us do. Whether that's a healing or being an electrician or understanding nutrition or being a masseuse or knowing how to grow food or knowing how to fetch water, whatever it may be, you have a use. I promise you that. And so before I finish up this video, I would like to enter into a small prayer of affirmation, if you'd like to repeat after me. I am powerful. I am beautiful. I am observant. I am patient. I am pragmatic. I recognize that I've been traumatized within a system that does not serve me. I recognize that I do not serve this system. I recognize that I serve myself. And in doing so, I serve the human race. I serve the collective, and I serve the future generations. I recognize that I need to slow down. I need to heal. I need to experience my own traumas. I need to experience my own soul. I need to experience the world directly. I recognize that I have a purpose here, and I'm going to slow down, and I'm going to feel into that purpose, and I'm going to recognize it, and I'm going to work on it for the rest of my life. I recognize that I want to be in peace, that I want to be a part of a beautiful, harmonious, collective species. I am a part of that species. I recognize now that I have the power to help that species. I have the power to push that species in a better direction. I am powerful. I am beautiful. I am a part of the universe. The universe is experiencing itself through my senses, and I am showing the universe how powerful it is, and how loving it is, and how divine it is. And I witness the change that is happening within this world right now, within the cosmos. I feel it. I feel the energy of change. I no longer want to be obedient. I no longer want to serve this system that was designed to punish me. And so I am going to shift my attention away from it. I am going to shift my attention towards more positive things that will move us in a better direction. And that's everything for today, folks. I love you all. I hope you enjoyed this little section. We are going to save the world, one by one,